I'm Dr. White from Spine by Design in Rockland, Maine. The first thing that you need to do when you are getting ready to shoot full spine studies in a digital environment is set your machine up in order to provide for tube, receptor, and image alignment. This is all based completely on the work of Dr. Richard Gohl, and if you don't have his book yet, it's still relevant and is something that you should absolutely have at your reference. So the entire study is based on the ability for us to align the grid cabinet, or nowadays the receptor, and the tube in relation to the patient. The first thing you need to do is set your tube with one of these markers 40 inches from the floor. A lot of the collimators will have a pull-out tape, and you can use that as a reference. And once you have your collimator at 40 inches from the floor, and this will be suitable for when you're taking extremity shots down on the floor, you're going to apply the tape measure to your tube stand and put a mark somewhere. I just found a handy spot and a little arrow. So now we know, okay, we're 40 inches from the floor. The next thing to do is to align your grid or your bucky to that point. Now, what we need to do is to have the center of the theoretical 36-inch cassette, which doesn't exist anymore, match with the center of the tube. So if we take our tube and we align our collimator in the horizontal plane, we have a pointer that has 3 points on it. They're 18 inches apart. The center pointer is the center of the study where the 36-inch cassette used to be. What's he doing here? We are lining this all up so that we can move the receptor and the tube in a coherent manner. So when we used to slide a 36-inch cassette in there, we would shoot from the center of the study on the AP single shot view. So the tube was at 40 inches. The center of the study was at 40 inches. And we had our indicator showing that we were shooting a horizontal beam. This doesn't really apply anymore for the people with 17-inch receptors, but we're going to be recreating the study with all the same geometry. We're just doing it a little differently with the new technology. It's critical that you have this pointer that's 18 inches long. The center pointer is the center of the study and the center of the tube. Now, when it comes to using those measurements, we are referencing T1. That's how we line up our entire study. So the patient is standing here, they're facing into the room, and this is how we do it. You line up the T1 line with their first dorsal. And where's the T1 line go? The T1 line is 8 inches from the top of the cassette that we don't use anymore, now the top of the receptor. If you have a 49-inch tall receptor, the T1 line is at 8 inches. If you have a 17-inch receptor, the T1 line is at 8 inches, okay? So the patient's standing there. We have just established the vertical orientation for the entire study. So what do we do with the tube? You come around here and you look at the center pointer, which in this case is 51¼ inches. In this practice, we shoot from 72 inches. Come down here, 51¼ inches. We have just now lined up the entire study for the AP view. Did it move down? 54¼ inches. I had it wrong. There. Okay. Now, if you have a 49-inch receptor, you can take a really great one-shot AP view on that entire patient. Okay? You're going to need a pre-patient wedge filter. The ones that we have are made out of lead-bearing acrylic. The traditional method of construction is aluminum. And you need pre-patient filtration in order to accommodate for the fact that most patients are thicker in their abdomen than they are in their cervical spine. It's the only way to do that in one shot. If you have a 17-inch panel like most of us do, then we're not going to take this in one shot. And yet it looks like it was done in one exposure. So what are we doing? We are going to, I'm going to open this collimator way up so that you can see. We're going to take this in 3 exposures. That is exposure number 1. On AP view, it's 3 exposures. We're going to use our wedge filter here. Take the exposure. Once you have done that, you are going to lower your receptor by 10 inches. And that's where the tape measures come in. This is exposure number 2 on the AP study. And I'm leaving this open so that you can see. We're going to lower this down here. We need our wedge filter for AP number 2.